Just think about it. The last 20 years, just the last 20 years.
Gotta turn the camera on again. Wait 1 second. Let me pause it. Cloak.
Yeah, so I had a friend named Cloak. He was an older friend. But,
Okay.
So it was a guy named Tech,
Mm-hmm.
Tech 9. It was Cloak. And then my brother-in-law's name was Lurch. They were all from this group called VC, Berlin Crooks, you know. What they would do, they would play basketball, play sports, and hang out in the hood. But they liked music. You know, Cloak was one of like a producer, you know. He liked music.
Okay.
Then Tech was the rapper, you know.
Okay.
That death hurt Tech 'cause I was his best friend, you know.
Okay.
But, you know, to make the story, I could have easily been there. So after that, my brothers, you know, my mother said never be out in the open. So that's when we started hanging out, like in my backyard or in the alley, because you're like a sitting duck.
Yeah.
Especially if you're smoking. That's what they were doing. They were smoking. They were high. They were drunk.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody just passed by, saw them, came down, and just let off like 6 shots. Out of those 6 shots, one of them hit him in the stomach, but it went through one of his like a main organ.
Okay. Here's the thing: people don't understand. A lot of times, I'm not a gangbanger. I don't do any of that stuff. But I know to go and like get enough courage to kill someone or shoot somebody, you have to be high or drunk in the first place. So now you got somebody who's drunk or high with a gun shooting out of a moving object. So, of course, everybody's probably going to get hit, but the intended target, because you're not even in the right frame of mind.
There are bullets with no names.
You know, bullets. Hey, it's very hard to shoot a gun. To shoot a gun just normally at a range, it's hard. You know, it's not easy.
It takes practice.
But speaking of practice, let's practice going back to Seattle. And tell me, was Seattle depressive, as they say? I've never been there, so I'm very interesting. What was your opinion of Seattle?
Seattle, for some reason, it was cold.
Okay.
I'm talking about the first time I really felt it.
Okay.
I was walking down the street and I couldn't stop shaking, and then my teeth were just, hitting each other.
Okay.
So a friend of mine told me, "Yeah, you got to get a thermal, man. Just the pants and the short and the shirt, yeah, underneath your clothes." And I found that out. My first walk, which was probably like about a block and a half, right? But with 6 inches of snow to get home.
Snow?
Yeah.
Seattle gets snow?
Yeah.
I didn't know Washington got snow.
It snows a lot. So I'm talking about my foot would go inside, I would pull it out. By the time I got halfway there, I was cramping up.
Wow.
So
I never knew it snowed.
The depressing thing is that you're actually locked up inside a lot because of the weather up there.
Well, I'm from New Jersey. We're locked in. Just makes us mean.
But I'm going to tell you this, though. But one thing, you will see neighborhood bars everywhere over there. Yeah. I would go to this neighborhood bar that they would cater to Sam Adams. But they had really good food. I would go watch the games there. Met a lot of interesting people.
Are people from Seattle nice? Do you think they're nice people?
Yeah, they were very nice.
Okay.
Around where I was living at, there was a lot of Ethiopian people. They good morning, good night, how you doing? They were always trying to conversate with you. Kind of like being down south.
Okay.
But then I had a friend named Douglas. He would tell me that he was from a gang called 13. Mm-hmm. I'm like, I've never heard of that gang,
Around here?
Well, anywhere. So over there, the gang culture is not over there. Mm-hmm. So you got some people trying to be Crips, trying to be Bloods, and then other people just saying they're 13, which that's like a South Side, But Seattle, depressing. I enjoyed it, man.
You did enjoy it, so it wasn't depressing?
It was clean. I liked the people. The air was perfect, man. No pollution over there. It rained a lot. Clothes was expensive, though.
They were expensive?
Yeah,
clothes?
Because everything they get there, they have to import it there. So a pair of Levi's, like the pair of Levi's I got now, I bought them at the Levi's store for $39.99, right? Mm-hmm. Over there, they're $79.99.
Wow, for Levi's?
For a pair of 501s.
I heard it's more expensive in Seattle. I heard it's expensive. Well, I heard. Have you been to Washington, Christine?
Yes, I have.
Tell us about
when I was a kid. So, but he never really classified as really going. When you're on family vacations.
Okay.
Going up to Canada.
Oh, you went to Canada.
Beautiful.
They say Washington is really like Southern Canada. They say that people are very nice. But listen, what I did here lately, there's something called the Seattle Freeze. Have you heard of what the Seattle Freeze is?
Yeah.
No.
It's when people won't talk to you if you're not from Seattle.
Because they know you're not from there. The way people dress.
So they won't talk to you?
See, when I was over there in 2003.
Okay.
When I was over there is when 50 Cent was blowing up.
Okay.
So Seattle was, bumping them. And
50 Cent?
Yeah.
Wow.
And then in the process of all that, you started seeing what you call
gangster culture.
Yeah, the gangster culture. Because I was in Portland too. Portland's like going to San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
If you're in LA, going to Portland's like you're going to San Diego.
Okay.
Portland was interesting too, man.
I heard it's very, very hippie-ish.
It is. That's why it's a perfect place for Antifa to come out.
I heard it's a lot of black tar heroin too. I heard people like to get lit on that black tar. Is that true?
I'm not sure, man, but you did see like First Street, downtown. You will see kind of like what you see in Skid Row.
Oh, okay. I heard about that.
But then like downtown Seattle was beautiful. Do you remember seeing Inside Stuff with Amar Rashad back in the days?
Yeah.
Remember when he was in the market and they would throw fishes?
Yeah.
I went
Seattle
there.
fish
I
market.
went there.
Wow.
I went there.
Did you get to throw a fish?
No. I can't touch that stuff. Right?
Did you play like defense and somebody threw a fish and like smacked it down?
No, I just saw it, and it was like all the tourists come around, it's the main attraction, But tell you, man, I had a good time in Seattle, man.
That's cool.
Like I worked at Quiznos, and I worked at this place called Tacos del Mar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. When you're in the, like, for some reason, whenever I'm in a different city by myself, sometimes you gotta just take whatever job you get first, and then you move on from there. We get a better job. I went to school. I had interesting jobs. I met a lot of interesting people.
That's the American way. Yeah.
I did not see what I see over here. What I see in LA is depressing sometimes.
Yes.
Wow,
it's amazing.
What I saw over there was more of people hanging inside their houses, having or in bars. Kind of like what they're doing down in LA.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has their own little bar where they go hang out at. But yeah, I wasn't depressed over there. The only thing I did miss was my family.
You missed your family?
That's about it.
That's amazing. I've never been to Washington. If I have to go, I'd go. I don't know. I'm kind of...
You'll like it.
No, I know I'd like it, but when I travel to places, I like there to be a reason I'm going there. Like, I'm not just a visit a place kind of person. Like, I gotta have a goal, a reason. I don't know. I'm very kind of like purpose driven. Like, if I'm going someplace, it has to be I just don't go places like, hey, I'm here. I'm in Albuquerque, New Mexico. What are you doing there? Oh man, I'm just checking it out. Like, I have to be on a mission. I have to be on like a goal. I don't know what it is.
Well, a lot of people are going, I guess, to Seattle, maybe to research the Seattle sound or
yeah, exactly. That's the reason enough, man.
Seattle sound.
So
what's this? Tell me.
So the guy that was talking, the guy that was selling, working at the music shop, right?
Mm-hmm.
He told me if you want to go check out something interesting, all you gotta do is, go to Marion Street. I think it was Marion. It was right across the street from the campus, like one block up, and you had Jimmy right there on his knees. That famous picture, with the guitar. So,
sorry.
Like you said, like Jimmy had a lot of time to himself, mastering that guitar thing. So that's why I think there's a lot of good musicians coming out of Seattle. They have a lot of time. Yeah,
I mean, that's true. And the thing about Jimi Hendrix is I've heard recently, which I didn't know, is he's self-taught. He's not like, I don't know about if he can read music, but he doesn't traditionally play a guitar how it's supposed to be played. Like a guitar teacher teaches you a certain way it's supposed to play. Jimi Hendrix doesn't play it like that. He's very unorthodox. And that comes back to what we were talking about, sort of like school and learning and everything like that. What you were talking about earlier about math and how you did math. But you would come to the answer and your teacher would go back and tell you, well, it's wrong because you didn't show the work. Okay? So, and that brought up a good point because I was listening to Kwame Brown and he also said that on his podcast about somebody that he knew did the same thing. Me, I was horrible at math. If I showed the work, it just shows how bad I was in math. Like I get the question wrong, but then my teacher would be like, "Oh my gosh, this is horrible. What are you even doing here?" You know, I barely missed the bungalows, man. I barely
You missed all the steps.
Well, the bungalows is like special math. Like when they send you out there, like 3 of you, I went to Catholic school. So when you had a problem with a subject, they would send you out to the bungalows. And everybody would mock you on your way to the bungalow. You didn't want to take the walk to the bungalows. When class started with the rest of the class, you wanted to be in that class. If you had to make that walk to the bungalows, okay, we're doing math right now. Jan, James, and Tony, time to go to the bungalows. And you'd see them bow their heads down.
That walk of shame?
Yeah. But then the walk of shame was long. You had to go out a hallway, make a right, and then the bungalows was out. They're outside a window, so you'd see it took 10 minutes to get to those bungalows, and we had nuns, so you couldn't laugh, like you couldn't mock them. You mocked them to yourself, like look at you out in the bungalows doing math. But if you said anything, those nuns would punch you in your face, like look at Jan, Glock, you're gonna catch it, and you don't want to mess with the nuns. But that's amazing how some of the most prolific people in all kinds of genres usually are self-taught or dropped out. Steven Spielberg, I think Spielberg is interesting because I think he's from Long Beach via New Jersey, but they say he went to USC, then he dropped out of Long Beach State and started making movies. A lot of these who was it? Jobs dropped out, I think, sophomore year.
Most of all the geniuses, they understand at a young age that teachers are not teaching them from what they know. They're teaching them from a book. And one semester of you self-teaching yourself could further you along the way more than a semester can.
The thing about teachers is that there are teachers who go along with the program, but then there are teachers, you're kind of hamstrung.